I'm Mary Ellbogen Garland, and I'm the president chair of the John P. Ellbogen Foundation. We're a nonprofit family foundation, and we're grant makers. We serve the entire state of Wyoming. I live in Laramie. I do have an executive director who helps with our work, and she's in Casper. And then we have two additional people that do contract work for our accounting and our facilitation of the initiative work that the Ellbogen Foundation does. I have a marketing degree I received in 1984 and then received an honorary doctorate from the University of Wyoming in 2009. And this was actually a really tremendous honor to be recognized by the University of Wyoming and the University of Wyoming Foundation. And I think it's entirely tied to the work that I've done with the foundation, and particularly to the initiative building that we've done to try to meet needs in Wyoming. Yeah, my first job after finishing school at the university was in the travel industry. And when I was young, my parents gave me tremendous opportunities. I was really fortunate to travel quite a bit. So I was interested in helping put together adventures for others to enjoy our country and the world. So that was my first job. And then I had the awesome job of becoming a wife and a mother of two boys. So that was 24/7 demanding and requiring a broad skill set, managing a household with two little boys running around. So that was a lot of fun. And when my boys started school, I was fortunate to have time in those young adult years to do community service work in Laramie. And this was a time also for skill building, relationship building, and doing a lot of hands-on work. I served on some boards around the town of Laramie. I served on my children's preschool board. I served at church, and I served for an organization that gives hope to at-risk youth. In fact, still, all these years later, I think I've been on that board about 20 years, and I'm still serving there. So that was really great. And then kind of during that same time frame, I was invited to serve on the University of Wyoming Foundation board. And this undoubtedly prepared me for my job with the Ellbogen Foundation. My dad had intended kind of early on that I would take the helm of the foundation at its inception. And he really pushed me to serve on the UW Foundation board, thinking this would be an extraordinary experience. It wasn't really a gentle push. It was not really optional, actually, but he just pushed me to serve, and he wanted me to get out of my comfort zone, and he thought I could learn a lot in preparation. And frankly, at that time, my dad knew a lot more about what I needed, and I respected his guidance. I took his lead, and he really understood more about my future than I did at that time. And so being on that big board, that big prestigious board, it was way out of my comfort zone. It was scary for me. I was one of just a few women on that board. I mostly listened in the meetings, and I garnered the wisdom and mentorship that my fellow board members. And so I really admired them and learned a lot during those years. I think I was on that board about 7 years. And certainly learning about fundraising was a perfect experience for becoming a grant maker. It helped me to understand fully how this world in philanthropy works. And it also taught me to be bold and to be assertive about, what I needed to make my career work more fully. That really brought me to the point in time when I went to work for the foundation in 2001. So I give oversight to the operations of the foundation, and that comes primarily in two areas. One is in executing our mission and vision and values. And then also sort of second to that, kind of in the big oversight area, is in the management of our assets and finances. And those are obviously what allow us to grow and do more grant making. I spend much of my time determining what we will make investments in for the benefit of the people of Wyoming. And obviously that's in our grant making, and in building the necessary partnerships to be effective and efficient in that work. Ultimately, though, our grant making is the decision of the whole Ellbogen Foundation board. So I basically just bring the ideas. And to generate those ideas, I spend a lot of time reading and listening in order to better understand the needs of Wyoming and also best practices in the area of philanthropy. So in thinking about one recent example, and this is COVID related, we've been doing a ton of COVID work in the last many months, just like many people. But I had a call from the community health center in Natrona County, and they were looking for some solutions for homeless men and women. And we're trying to put together a safe place for them to be with the issues related to COVID and COVID infection and just protecting those around them. And so it was a wonderful opportunity to just be able to step in and say, just for the moment, Ellbogen can help with this. What do you need? How is it going to work? And just really understanding the work that they were going to do. And that relationship is ongoing, but that's just one of many, many examples of how the Ellbogen Foundation operates. So each day I get to wonder about the possibilities of a better Wyoming, and through the work of the foundation, I have the opportunity to respond to the best of those. And it just really doesn't get any better than that. A whole bunch of things come into my sight, even on a daily basis, and just to think about how the Ellbogen Foundation can really have an impact for the people of Wyoming. So the foundation, the hallmark of our foundation is support of education, but we know that if basic needs aren't met, food, shelter, a place to belong, that students aren't going to meet their potential in the classroom or in life. And so in as much as we do a lot of work around education, we also know we need to pay attention to supporting basic needs and understanding how we can best do that in Wyoming. I think this is important. I think there's a ripple effect of our work that will never fully be known, but it moves across the vast landscapes of people's lives and touches them in many ways and meets their needs, their most pressing needs. And so we're in the business of making life better for children and families and for the people of Wyoming. And really for all we know, maybe we've even saved a life or two with our work. And so that's pretty exciting to know that our whole focus is in quality of life and helping people. Well, the business structure of the foundation has always been challenging, really, from the beginning. But I think in business and whatever our work is, we have to persist in the difficulties and look for the best solutions and to be thoughtful about how we handle the challenges in our work. There are essential tasks, of course, every day that I don't particularly enjoy, but this is true of every job. And so you do those tasks, maybe you do them first. I return phone calls, every phone call, every message, whether I want to or not. If it's a challenge, I still call people back. Of course, there's challenges and mistakes that we make in our business decisions. But I think for me, knowing that I have good intentions and right intentions about the way the foundation does business helps. And then I think in the challenges, just always be mindful of taking the high road. I think first, do what you love, find work that you can be passionate about. One of my favorite quotes, Theodore Roosevelt said, "Far away the best prize life offers is to work hard at work worth doing." And for me, that's certainly been important. To continue learning, to seek professional development, and to develop relationship with mentors. And I think through our whole life, when we're young and when you're my age, a little bit on the older end of the spectrum, to build partnerships and collaborations to gain efficiency and effectiveness in our work, I think is important. Surround yourself with good, smart, hardworking people, undoubtedly, and in everything I've done in my job. Success does not happen in isolation. And so we really need people around us to help us get our work done. And I have a philosophy that if you don't ask, the answer is always no. And that is just asking people to help with the work, friends and colleagues to join in wherever it is needed. And I mentioned earlier about getting out of our comfort zone. I think that's important, and that's how we grow professionally and personally. And it's hard, but I think it's important to continue to do that. And then lastly, to critically and honestly evaluate the present, how we're doing, and to continually look to the future and the next steps for how we can continue to be productive in our work.